Welcome to February's Leetcode challenge. Today's problem is simplified path. Given a string, which is an absolute path starting with a slash, to a file or directory in a Unix-style file system, convert it to a simplified canonical path. In a Unix-style file system, a period refers to the current directory, a double period refers to the directory up a level, and any consecutive slashes are treated as a single slash. For this problem, any other formats of periods such as ... are treated as a file directory name. There's a couple constraints, I suppose, to say that the path starts with a single slash, any two directories are separated by a single slash, and the path does not end with a trailing slash. Okay, so let's start attacking this problem in an iterative fashion. Like, the very first thing we know is we're given a string, right? And we want to figure out how we could split it up and then run some sort of algorithm to recreate our standard path. Now, the very first thing we might realize is it's the slashes that we need to separate the string by. It's not the periods, because periods, depending on whether they're single or double, can mean different things. And if it's triple, then that doesn't actually count as a period. So the really only concern here are these multiple slashes. They should always be counted as a single slash. So let's start with that. What I'm going to do is create a list and get this path and split it by the slash character. So let's take a look at what this might look like. Here you'll see that we have two empty strings and the string of home in the middle, right? So what do we do with these empty strings? Well, we can just get rid of them. We should just get rid of these empty strings because they're not going to really tell us anything. We already know that this is split by slashes. And really, after that, now we could probably come up with some sort of stacked approach and recreate our final output here. Okay, so let's first get rid of these empty strings. What I'll do is just do a list comprehension. I'll say for a in P, if a does not equal empty string, then put that in. And now we have our list here. So now we want to create a stack somehow, and we will be popping off of the stack with a couple constraints. Okay, so the very first thing, we know that it's going to start with a, well, we don't really need that. We can add that later. We'll go from for, let's see, we'll call it A in P. We are going to figure out a couple things. So first, is it a period? Because if it's a period, then literally we don't do anything. It's the current directory, so just skip that. If it's a double period, what we want to do then is pop off whatever's on our stack, because we want to move up a directory. And if it's anything else, we add that as the next directory, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if A is equal to a single period, I don't think we do anything here. Now, otherwise, if A is equal to a double period, what do we need to do? We need to pop off of our stack, right? One thing to note, though, is we might have an empty stack, so let's make sure the stack has something. So if stack, then pop off whatever's off the stack. Then we can just continue. Otherwise, if it's anything else, we attach it to our stack. So now we're going to have this stack here that's going to give us the real path. And what we want to do is rejoin that into a string format with a slash in front. So what we can do then is we'll return a slash in front plus use the string join method of all the stacks. But what we'll do is put in a slash as the delimiter. So let's see if this works. Okay, so it looks like that's working. I want to run a couple more test cases, but let's see first if it works. Oh, and it does. So that's great. Time complexity, what is it? It's, well, I suppose it's O of n, considering the length of the string. And we do have to use extra memory for the stack, so it's also O of n space complexity. Now, are there better ways to do it? Sure there are, but I think this is a fairly standard approach. Yeah, the trick is to really first figure out how to split up this path You can easily go down the wrong path by trying to add these slashes and periods, split them up by that way. But once you figure out that you can just split it by the slash, then I think everything else is straightforward. Alright, thanks for watching my channel, and remember, do not trust me, I know nothing.